This is Doug, of course. I am recording this parked outside of Starbucks, specifically in Aurora at the corner of 40th and Chambers. If you're not familiar with Denver, that's not going to make, you're not going to, know where that is, obviously. I'm in my Prius and I have my mount here, that same mount I had in the truck, that mount on the windshield. And I have a magnet on the back of this phone, so I can just basically put it on like that. Because on April 16th at 6:06 a.m., I got long-winded. But now I'm making a video. This is my other iPhone. I turned off the service, but it's a $1,500 iMovie. It was my old workhorse, 500 gigabytes of storage. Some of you may not even know what that means. That could be kilowatts, kilos, or whatever. But this was my old workhorse. The one I'm recording on right now has 1 terabyte. See? Now watch, I can flip it around like this. Here we go. Now watch. I can videotape myself, videotaping. See, that looks pretty cool. It's starting to get daylight. We got Starbucks in the background. And we got it over here. Let's just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, dude. Let's just do it. Here we go. Okay, I'm at Starbucks. It's 4/16/2022. I'm starting my day. I'm unemployed. I've actually been fired. I actually am retired. Not on my own terms. I was fired by night transportation. That's why I'm here today. And I am turning into a weirdo. I'm turning into a content creator like Noah. Packed up. It only takes me a couple minutes. I literally have my bag with everything, my Mac, my tripod, my speaker, and that's everything. But anyway, it's time to go. I could hang out here till 10, but this is my basement wash park studio. And the more you do it, the better you get, the faster. Now I've got Maximum Ninja. Hi, I can make a 1-hour video with all kinds of shit, flashbacks and stuff, at the coffee shop, just like that. 4K, I think it's 4K. I'm recording myself with my 500 gigabyte storage in front of Starbucks in Broomfield. And now I can take this same exact recording and stop it and airdrop it over to this phone. And then we can stop this, and this would be kind of a B-roll kind of intro, right? Yeah, that's kind of something you can do because you got 2 phones. Wow, that's kind of interesting. And I own this phone, so I don't have to pay anything, but it can still use it as a movie maker. Wow, that's kind of trippy because I just checked the general storage thing is up to 132 gigabytes and it's 500. This one has 1 terabyte. I'm already up to close to 600. So I have to get some of this stuff off, so I drop it down to a reasonable level. And I'm just doing multitasking. I'm doing this recording and this recording, and then we're going to zoop over here, and we're going to start our video right now. Shelf that really is cool at night. I have a little key ring here where I put the house key and my Prius key. It might sound funny, all these little touches that I like. That actually has a bed frame. I'm not sure if my wash part place, I don't think it has a bed frame. And one of these cool instruments. And there's a Hawaii map. And Jeremy said he lived in Waikiki Beach. And there's a clock on the wall up there. So when I'm doing videos, I can look up, and the refrigerators are really good size. And there's my crystal light, fan, big mirror. So it's real cozy with 2 lamps and all this other stuff up here. And these rocks, just kind of cool details. So the bottom line, in a world map, see this is, I believe this is Japan here. I am down at the beach, just walking around. This is the first time I've been here since the fall. This is, I mentioned before, I've been here to this area. I think I've come here every single time I've come to Japan. The very first time I came here to Kamakura area was with my friend Chikako. That was the first time I saw the ocean. I believe that was in October 2017. And I did come here before, and I walked through this island that you can see there. It kind of looks more like a peninsula, but it's technically an island because there is a bridge. It is surrounded by water, and there's a pedestrian bridge. Oh, by the way, when I'm recording, you guys just say whatever you want to say or not say anything. Talk amongst yourselves.
I have a goddamn microphone, and that is a dangerous proposition.
And echo.
Yes, I got the reverb because it's scary to sing into a microphone, so I got the auto tune, and so it's less scary to like present yourself.
Now, what about this? Since there's people above us and around us, this is an apartment complex, isn't it? Or what is this a house, or what is this?
It's essentially, I turned a house into an apartment complex.
Yeah, I'm a tenant. I'm actually, I decided to earn my, you know how some people ask if they can wash dishes? I told them, can I make a movie in exchange for rent? No, I'm just kidding. I used to be with driving to Tokyo, then I went from the in-state van man with a plan, and my van blew up, so now I'm perhaps the Denver Prius plan guy. Anyway, I spontaneously booked an Airbnb this afternoon, and this guy, Jeremy, he's my Airbnb host. And this guy, what's your name, dude? Kennedy. Kennedy and I just had an awesome conversation. They gave me permission just to videotape their jam tonight. And I think Jeremy does this every night. You do this, do you guys do this together every night? Or sometimes? So this is the way you're gonna wind up. So this is gonna be totally raw. I'm gonna drop off camera. And this is like a live in the garage. What do we call this? Garage?
A jam session.
Jam session. I used to be with driving to Tokyo. Then I went from the in-state van man with a plan. Then my van blew up. So now I'm perhaps the Denver Prius plan guy. Hello, everyone. We're at Moonlight Beach in the van, and I've been doing a really long rant, 46 minutes, and I don't think I'm going to use it, to be honest with you. But I'm also wanted to show you, this is my camera up here. I'm actually videotaping myself, talking to myself. You know, to give you an idea of how weird you're gonna get. Now here's what can happen. If you take the video matrix and you start doing your 10-minute video, you know, where Mike and Michelle, they ask you a question, you answer the question on a 10-minute video. You know, this is the truth. Okay. I was driving a truck, working 70 hours a week. I started chatting with Michelle, didn't even know what she was doing. She was really into this attraction marketing thing, till finally I felt connected to her. And I finally asked her, what do you do? That's the whole attraction marketing thing. You develop a relationship or curiosity or do something to eventually someone wants to know who you are, what you do. You know, you don't, like one of my mentors said, you know, when they ask for a glass of water, don't give them a fire hose. You just kind of build curiosity, you know, to where they ask you. That's what I went with Michelle. I finally said, what do you do? And then I could tell she had it all memorized. And I found out actually Mike and Michelle were an empower too. Okay, and I thought, oh wow, because it was like one empowered person talking to another, and I learned all the same stuff. So when she was trying to do shit on me, I could tell what she was trying to do on me. So finally, I just told her, I'll do this thing. How much is it? Because if it was going to be like $5,000, I probably wouldn't do it. I said something like it was $97 or $197 or something. I said, what is it? She said, well, what is it for? If you want to be comfortable in front of a camera, and I hated myself in front of the camera, and I was kind of like, I'm not anyway, I spontaneously booked an Airbnb this afternoon, and this guy, Jeremy, he's my Airbnb host. And this guy, what's your name, dude? Kennedy. Kennedy and I just had an awesome conversation. They gave me permission just to videotape their jam tonight. And I think Jeremy does this every night. You do this? Do you guys do this together every night, or some nights? So this is the way you're gonna wind down. So this is gonna be totally raw. I'm gonna drop off camera, and this is like a live in the garage. What do we call this? Garage?
A jam session.
Jam session.
Yeah, we just write out a few chords and then call it.
Now, do you guys have a group or a band, or are you guys assembling a band, or?
Clear Skies and Chemtrails coming at you live.
So you guys are the two main dudes of the band, right?
Yeah. Starring guest appearances from Will Schwank.
And electronic drum sets.
Yes, we've got Kyle. He's on point tonight.
Have you guys ever played at a nightclub or anywhere?
No.
We took it on the street once.
Yeah, we go. I go busking. I like to go up to Boulder.
Just on Pearl Street Mall or something?
We do the clamshell. So it's like it's near the Pearl Street Mall.
Is it a coffee shop or something, or?
No, it's like an auditorium.
Wow.
An outdoor auditorium.
You actually could go in there in an auditorium
And play.
Wow.
For fun.
That must be killer then.
Sometimes you get applause, and sometimes you get homeless people.
You don't get booze though, right?
No booze. A lot of Freebird and Iron Maiden. It's like this not tonight's jam. Tonight's jam is going to be famous. See.
Kennedy, you're not only, I'm going to actually, this is a plug for our program tomorrow. I'm actually going to be interviewing Kennedy tomorrow. We're going to try to take the conversation we had tonight to the next level tomorrow.
Well, that's what I was saying. We're having a party tomorrow, so we'll see.
This is all just a preview. The micro sleep, which was probably all of 2 seconds, and Knight's decision to terminate me so far has cost me at least $40,000 in income. And if I was to factor out, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years as far as what kind of income I'm going to be able to make working part-time, doing whatever I can. Because night, essentially, with my microsleep, ended my driving career. So I can't say for sure that I've lost $100,000 of income. Well, I can say I lost at least $100,000 of income with night if I drove a couple more years. But obviously there's a possibility I might make some income of some kind. So I can't say that I've lost $100,000. Specifically, I'm not going to make anything. But it basically, that with my folks selling the house and my Toyota van blowing up and losing my job, losing my house, and losing my van all at once has turned my whole life upside down. You know, it's completely derailed my plan. And that's the sad part. When I told them at the meeting, do you realize, and Madeline knew this, I told Madeline prior to getting fired that, do you realize I've invested $7,000 to start a channel called Driving to Tokyo, where I'm promoting night transportation, and I saved $37,000. I went to Japan 5 times. I want to create a system where I can recruit, train, and start my own Driving to Tokyo high performance team, taking a place never been before, so I can not only hit my 1,000,000 miles, but leave night with better than I found it. I told her that. They didn't care. They didn't care at all. In fact, the guy holding the meeting, he didn't even know me. That's the sad part. They couldn't separate me as a human being and my record from the 2-second incident, where in reality the truck wasn't damaged, the trailer wasn't damaged. I just ended up being stuck in the mud and had to get towed out. Did all the right things, brought the load to the yard, but what they couldn't get past is that it could possibly happen again, that they had to protect their liabilities, and the best way to do it was just fire me. This is the real deal, dude. We got to have a heart-to-heart. I've got to remind you about reality, okay? Okay, here we are. It's May 1st. You got fired November 5th. So that's November, December, January, February, March, April. About 6 months, okay? They said they fired you because you could have a micro sleep, okay? It's been 6 months. You haven't had a micro sleep. You hadn't had one in 9 years and 4 months with them, and you drove a total of 12 years and you never had one. So therefore, here's the real deal, dude. You're 68, going to be 69. Here's what you have to live with, okay? It's a sad thing. It's reality. Life isn't fair. And you look like you're camping out. I know I'm camping out in the Prius. Remember, we're in Aurora. But let's get back on subject, okay? Here's the real truth, okay? Life isn't always fair, okay? You were going to drive for about 3 or 4 more years, maybe just call it 3, and you've already lost $20-something thousand, and if you drove 3 years, let's just figure 3 years from now, if a microsleep doesn't happen, in other words, if you're not driving your Prius and you never have a microsleep, you know, there's the possibility that you got fired for absolutely nothing, because nothing happened, okay? And you're going to lose several $100,000 towards your retirement. So when you reach a certain age, let's call it 71, and you reach that age, instead of having several $100,000, let's call it $100,000 towards your retirement, plus your parents' potential inheritance, you know, you got fired for something that never happened. They said it could happen, but it never happened. That's the world that they live in. They're not drivers, dude. That's the reality. You are a driver, a CDL holder. You've worked 12 years, 70-hour work weeks. You actually are doing the work. They go to their job. We've talked about this before. They go to work at 7, they get off at 5 in military time, 1700. They work 5 days a week. They sit behind their computers. They don't even have a CDL. They couldn't drive the truck out of the parking lot, even though it's an automatic transmission. You know, it's a big difference. Here's the deal. We've talked about this before. Madeline didn't even know about trucking. She was in the medical field, okay? She admits it. She said before this, we got it on video. We could probably go to a lake. Kind of level I'm at right now, 750,000 miles with night, but if I counted CRST, my first 3 years, I would be at the 1 million. But since they don't give me credit for my previous company, I have to drive some more, probably drive another 3 or 4, balance of my career to hit the million. Now, if I started younger, like some of the drivers I met that start, they're only 21 years old, it takes about 8 to 10 years to hit a million. So if you start young enough, you can do multi-million. Why did you, there'll be easy questions too.
Okay.
Why did you decide to go into trucking? How did that happen? And specifically, night transportation.
This is really easy.
Yeah.
Thanks for starting out with an easy
Yeah.
one. My best friend, her husband works for night transportation, and then he said you should come work for night transportation.
Oh, that was easy. Yeah.
I know. I said it was really easy. I mean, it wasn't quite like that easy. I was doing something else before, and then there came to a point where I could make a decision to leave that. Totally not transportation related.
Wow.
I came in with zero. I don't think anyone outside of the industry really knows about it, which is like kind of weird because you would think everyone should know about it. We all rely on it pretty heavily.
Exactly. Good point.
And so, but it's pretty wild because, it didn't even think about like even just the distance it takes to stop a tractor trailer, or speed up, or, like just even driving around it physically, but then kind of just the figurative aspects as well. Like, the stuff ending up on shelves in a store, like how did it get there? Exactly. And so, just like really thinking about that. And so I came in literally knowing nothing about transportation. My
life is actually, oops, there it goes. That's the automatic shut off. My life, from your perspective, some people would say this is horrible. I've told some friends what I do, and they go, that sounds horrible. You're never home. You don't have a life. You're sleeping in a vehicle, and you're working 12 hours a day, and you never know where you're going next. I mean, that sounds terrible, but I love it. I just absolutely love it. I've been doing it 12 years. It's funny when people say, do you like what you do? Yeah, I've been doing it 12 years. It's like they ask me, why do you keep going back to Japan? You must like it. Yes, I've been there 5 times. I keep going back, and I want to go back again. I'm waiting for the COVID thing to clear up. But anyway, I'm just blabbing. I gotta get this show on the road, do this quick video. Hopefully the thing won't come on and say, you're out of storage, your storage is full. You gotta delete something you can't share. This is just a quick down and dirty video for my morning before I leave and hit the road for Texas. And I am doing some short clips. I know that Jay said don't do short clips. It will look fragmented. That's part of my style, but trust me, when I sit and do my 30-minute break, I'm going to sit and blab and talk about wisdom and life and all of that good stuff. Anyway, I about 3 weeks ago, after a friend of mine said to me that you could probably make some movies using iMovie on your iPhone, and I thought, really? I can really do that? And to backpedal a little bit, I don't have any videos. I had some videos with Brazil. Sylvia and I videotaped our whole entire time together, and this was back when we had dial-up, and I had videos of Brazil, but I no longer have those. I have pictures and a lot of memories from Japan, but I didn't create any like iMovie type of pictures or videos when I went to Japan. I did some lives. As many of you know that I visited, I would just turn the camera on, let the camera roll, and so I thought I would experiment with iMovie, and it was like the iMovie muse or the iMovie spirit like took over. I'm serious. It's like it said to me, "It's about time you showed up. I'm ready to rock and roll." I'm gonna lock my door. Dude, I locked my door. We're up. This is really my life. Let's see, this is my life as a truck driver. I love my life. You know, I've been doing this 12 years and I love it, as crazy as it may seem. And I'm actually, you know, I'm a functioning crazy person. That's what I am. You know, you've heard of functioning alcoholics. I'm a functioning crazy person. See, there's the Starbucks emblem. Well, this is all full. Is there anybody going through the drive-through? Here comes somebody right now. I better not videotape. No. Oh, there's some other people. Excellent light. Excellent audio, probably. Okay, how's this, folks? Okay, forget the last 38 minutes if I include this. I'm not sure. It's like bloopers, you know. And if I don't include it, you're kind of wondering what I'm talking about. If I included it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Think of that as 38 minutes of total craziness of an episode. And now this is the next week, or the next episode, okay? I'm drinking Starbucks and weed. You can kind of see the Starbucks behind me. I stop here. It's exit 745 on the Interstate 5. For all the grasshopper rookie truck drivers that are thinking about driving a truck, here's another thing you'll learn. My trainer told me this. This is all inside information. Normally you have to talk to a trainer before you learn this, but I'm going to give you this bonus material, okay? My trainer told me, you know, eventually, you know, you'll get to know all the exit numbers, you'll know all the truck stops, and I was like, right, uh-oh. Here comes one of these fancy. Wow, awesome. Hey, how do you like your Subaru?
Love it.
I got one, but I'm thinking of upgrading to that.
Definitely do it.
Yeah, it's worth it, huh?
You can smile on your face everywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the color too. Smile on your face everywhere you go. That's a good thing. Get a smile on your face everywhere you go. So this is probably my upgrade, my next upgrade. You know, I saved $37,000 last year, so I could pay cash for something like this. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be a status statement. Doug, the super trucker. This WRX Super Turbo. Wow, that's awesome.
Driver manager on this team, and then quickly I moved over to the account management team. I managed a national account, and I did that for a year, and then I moved over to another account management team, and I managed all the account managers. And then now I came back into operations, and I took over as the terminal manager here. And so
labor attorney and said, "This is my driver manager." She said, "I didn't even know anything about transportation." And then she says, quote unquote, "You know, I had to go out to the yard and observe a proper pre-trip and observe this and observe that." You know, in the real world, not the imaginary world they live in, that there's a big difference between watching something and actually doing it. She bases her whole thing, her being a driver manager, you know, fleet driver, terminal manager, on just observing, but she doesn't know. Put her behind the wheel, you know, see if she can drive the truck out of the parking lot or back it into a dock. She probably couldn't, dude. Including the guy that was talking to you that you didn't even know. This whole situation, you just gotta be at peace. It's just fucked up, man. And life isn't fair, man. I know, it's not fair. So, why are you up this early? Well, because I'm a creature of habit, dude. I like being on time. Starbucks is gonna open up in about 34 minutes, and I'm there just like I was in Cardiff at 5. I may be fired, retired, unemployed, almost homeless other than this Prius, but I am a happening dude, and I'm going to keep making these movies. We knew this. I told you this. We're going to make these movies no matter what. Even if nothing never happens, with the microsleep. And probably nothing's going to happen, dude, because you understand your body. They don't understand your body. They aren't in your body. And the big thing, too, the thing that's really fucked up, dude, is Knight had a thing called casual. We've talked about that. That means that to maintain your 3 weeks paid vacation and employee, all you had to do is literally one load a month. Like, if they really cared about you, think about it. Go to a labor attorney, ask his opinion. If they really cared about you, they could have said, okay, we have a policy for these kinds of situations. You're almost 70. You've been working really hard. You've been doing 70-hour work weeks. You created this whole channel. You told Madeline about driving to Tokyo, high performance team taking you place you've never been before. You invested $7,000 in it. You were driving, doing that. You have to kind of chill a little bit. So I'm going to recommend you clean out your truck. You just go part-time casual. Just drive a little bit. Rest the rest of the time. I mean, really, just call up, get a truck, chill out, drive a week, turn the truck in, chill out for 3 weeks. Heck, take your little Prius, go out to Encinitas, walk on the beach. Just enjoy your life more and just drive a little bit. We'll keep you as an employee. You'll make a little bit of money. You'll be better than driving Lyft or something like that. And you can remain an employee. Just do your last 3 years and then hit I'm not going to hit my 1,000,000 miles driving part-time. Okay, I understand. But you can remain an employee because we care about you. We understand that you've made us $1 million. You picked up all these loads. We let you look on the computer, in 10 years. Dude, you have done thousands of loads. We're not going to fire you. We're not heartless. We're a compassionate company that cares about our drivers, so we're going to stand up for you, I know this happened. Shit happens. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So it's, if the insurance companies can have accident forgiveness, we can forgive you for this because we understand that it happened. A blink of an eye. What really happened, dude, you just got stuck in the mud. You followed all the procedures. You called the company. You called claims. We towed you out. You delivered the load here. We're not going to fire you for that. We're not heartless, man. We're a compassionate company. Dude, that's not what they did, dude. They fired you. They even said, you're here, you're gone, you're fucked, goodbye. I mean, they showed you their true colors, man. They didn't really care about you. Don't live in a fantasy world. Knight did not care about you. That's the cold, harsh reality. I know. It's just hard to believe. And Madeline didn't even show up for the friggin' meeting. You think that, when she said she wanted to do a ride-along with you in the truck after listening to your video, how many people want to do a ride-along with someone that they don't trust? This whole thing is a big clusterfuck, and it's one of those things, it sucks. There's no way of getting around it, dude. And the one thing, to remind you, and this was really sad, this is a perfect example about life isn't fair. Remember, I'm probably going to film a lot of this because it's nice scenery, so I'm going to use it for other videos. Chain removal area over my head. Chain removal area here. Similar to Donner Pass, except Donner Pass is, like 7,000 feet elevation. There's a truck behind me now. I think he wants to go faster than I am going. can't let other truckers intimidate you to go faster than what you feel safe, regardless of whether they're tailgating you, flashing their lights, or whatever they're doing. Passing lane, yeah, I'll let them pass if they want to pass. I'm going about 58 miles an hour right now. Starbucks is going to be open in 28 minutes. You're going to be able to sit, drink your coffee in your Prius, start a wonderful day, brand new day today. Taki died a month after you left the restaurant. Taki died. He's been gone for like 12, 13 years now, dude. Now, this New House Hotel came into the picture because my plan, because I didn't have rent, I didn't have car payments. My plan was to stay there at the Barrister Building, and there was a point that my friend Taki offered me a dishwashing job and at Taki's restaurant. But because I didn't have rent and I was doing janitorial work at the Barrister Building, and I was only making about $700 a month income, I thought I can make it work. But what happened is, again, something bad happened. New owners bought the building and they didn't want me to do janitorial work again. So they kicked me out. So I had to hand move all of my things across the street from the Barrister Building, across the street here to this New House Hotel. And rent these rooms. I don't even think this is open anymore, but I had to rent these rooms that were here, and the rent was $155 a month. Excuse me, $155 a week, and my salary was $700 a month. So that took up all of my dishwashing salary. That changed the whole situation to where I had no extra money. I found myself living at the new house, and then July 21st, 2007, forgive my amateur camera work. It's about 12:30 and I'm working from 12 to 3 today as a dishwasher. This is where I work every day, washing dishes at Taki's restaurant. I quit my limo driving job about probably February, and it's now July. And I did it for actually about 5 different reasons. One of them, I had a disagreement with Yusuf, the son of Jamal, who owns Centennial Limousine. And I'll get into that conversation a little bit later, but this is where I wash my dishes. I basically bring the dishes back from the front area where the people eat. I bust the tables. I bring them back to this place, wash them, rinse them, and I put them in the dishwasher here. They're washed, and then when those are done, I put the next ones in. They come out, and I take them from here and put them where they belong, out with Jose or Pepe when they're cooking. All the bowls, and I actually I didn't even know where all the bowls went, but I cut the bowls and the various dishes away. Now we have Mexican music here at Taki's on this boombox.
What is your name? Maria?
Maria.
Angelica Maria?
No, Angie Maria.
Angie Maria.
Or Marianne.
Marianne?
As long as you say it correctly.
Angela?
No, Marie.
Angie Marie.
Yeah.
Angie Marie.
Angie Maria.
Angie Maria.
Yes. That's correct.
Angie Maria. What are you coloring?
Tigger.
What's that?
Tigger. What are you eating?
I'm just eating one of my chicken bowls.
This is upside down for you.
See, this is my bowl before I'm eating it.
Taste it when you're done eating it.
This is the empty bowl. It has chicken, white rice. Blueberries.
Blueberries, I never taste them.
You never had blueberries before?
No. What were you doing?
Look up at the camera. Washing dishes at Taki's restaurant, making $700 a month, would ate up all my salary. And by the time that happened, I was starting to really hate my dishwashing job. But I especially started hating it because I felt trapped by the circumstances I found myself in. And that's basically when I left to go to California 4 years after I came back. I was working at Taki's restaurant that was across the street here, across from the Catholic Church. And burnout, I was pretty fed up. I was depressed. And my friend Taki, who owned the restaurant, pretty much fired me. That's the irony of it. He pretty much told me, why don't you take your next paycheck and go back to California? And he basically fired me. And I took my last paycheck and I took a one-way train ticket up to California and met my dad at the bus station. And that's how I started my my chapter where I started driving a truck and kind of remember your girlfriend, Carol. She shot and killed herself after attempting to kill herself 3 weeks before, trying to take an overdose of pills. And you told her how much you loved her. You told her how much she had to live for. She said, I love you, but I may never see you again on Tuesday. And she was dead on Thursday. You know, that's tragic. Life is full of tragedy, dude. And you getting fired is not cool, but it's the way life is, dude. You gotta just, like my mom said, you gotta cowboy up. You know, this is your reality. You're doing the best you can, like Jack used to say to you all the time 30 years ago. You're doing the best you can with the awareness you had at this given time. And don't beat yourself up. You know, you did the right thing. You took your break at 4 p.m. in Beaver, Utah. Your 10 hours was up at 2 a.m. You ran efficiently for years. That's what you did. You got up, you did your pre-trip, you started driving at 2 a.m. Even though you were on recap hours, you could have slept in till 8 o'clock in the morning, drove till daylight, and God only knows, maybe if you got up at 8 o'clock at daylight, drove to Flagstaff, nothing would have happened. You would still have your job.
For anyone to really know
Well,
about.
I'll give you
like
an example.
A short
Just-
example.
I'll just wrap up with this because I know you need to go. For example, with just me in general, when I started driving 12 years ago, we had paper logs. We don't have paper logs anymore. We have e-logs. When I started driving, we had a manual transmission. Now we have automatic transmission.
Yep.
When I started, we didn't have apps on our phone. We had those big clunky like communication devices with the cord. Now we have a real streamlined tablet. Now I can get all my communication on my phone.
Yeah.
So I can see just in the last 9 years how technology has influenced my job. So I'm excited with truck driving. I wish I was like 30 something and I had more years to watch this develop.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be exciting for you too. And it sounds like you're just kind of in the moment, but aware of ways that you can contribute and kind of make it better. And just you're kind of in the moment. But I think I think truck driving, the bottom line for me, truck driving isn't what most people think it is that aren't in the industry.
Yeah.
Like once you get involved with it, I think it's a pretty exciting thing.
Yeah.
And then plus, bottom line with night, there's a lot involved. There's drivers, there's management, there's a lot of room for advancement too. Someone could start as a driver and go into being a driver manager or a planner or go into the corporate side. They don't necessarily have to be a driver forever.
Yeah.
So there's lots of room for growth.
Oh, yeah. Always and everywhere.
So anyway, that I took a lot of your time. I appreciate that. With Madeline's permission, I'm going to go on my home time and I'm going to make one of my videos and I'm going to put this on the video and talk about how wonderful the management is. Now,
Thank you.
I could even send this to you, see if you like it.
I
think
probably
you did.
won't. I don't like myself on camera.
I thought you did great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it's hat day,
It's-
and that's
oh,
why I'm wearing this hat. I don't wear it every day.
And you have stars on it.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully we'll do the drive.
Soon.
So you got funked for being efficient and doing what you've been doing for 10 years, and you had a human microsleep. That's a fatigue-oriented thing. The military guys have it. The firemen, people that are deployed, that are working all kinds of weird hours. You know, the corporate people did not work all kinds of weird hours. They were office people, dude, not drivers. It's just the way it is. Okay, I get it. I understand. And even Sophia said in her video, Up in Mexican Hat, do I have to play that for you again? We're just in the car together. We decided to do one car. It was $20 per car. And this is Monument Valley. And this is our first full day together. And Sophia is so awesome. You know, as I've said, I'm not going to keep saying it over and over again. I was released. I was set free with night transportation. So Sophia is my main soul sister that really helped me. The very first night I called her and I told her about it, and she was real compassionate. She understood that I'd be, you know, freaked out and disappointed and all kinds of emotions. But she's the one that said, why don't we reframe this? You know, you had your human mind that you wanted to drive 5 more years and, you know, do all this, but Spirit had another plan for you. And now you don't have to drive 5 more years. And that's kind of what we're working on. This is the Freedom Tour. Our first, you know, maybe you should watch it. It's on your phone. This is the 1 terabyte phone. You have all these videos that you can watch. You can remind yourself of reality, dude. You know, even if nobody else watches this, does it really matter? I mean, the truth is, nobody cares about anybody but themselves. That's the hardcore. It's a reality. It sucks. Even your parents, you know, they're in their own little world. You know, my dad just turned 89. You know, he wants to make it to 90. That's his whole thing, to make it to 90. I mean, think about that. He just turned 89. He wants to try to make it 1 more year. And remember at the time you're sitting in the living room, you know, after you got fired, watching football games, you know, and he's drawing over in his chair. You have your headset on and you know, you have your headset on. Just think back at this. You have your headset on, you know, and you're sitting there on the couch, and you have your smartphone, and you're making a movie, you know, and he's drawing, and you guys are talking, and you're watching a game, and your parents think you're crazy, but you know, they don't understand what the heck you're doing. But you told them, you know, I make movies all the time, all day long. Even when I'm watching a football game with you, I'm making movies because it makes me happy, you know. And my dad, you know, you told your dad to come on, sit down, I'm going to give you a neck and shoulder massage. And you're making a movie as you're giving him a neck and shoulder massage, and you're having a heart talk about the fact he just wants to make it to 90. You know, that's life. You know, you're doing the best you can because you're a little bit whacked out and crazy about making these movies. But you could be whacked out and crazy about something else, you know. I mean, being a crazy dude who likes making these videos for yourself, it's not that bad a thing, man. You know, they may have fired you for it, dude, because you know what? I gotta break the news to you. It had nothing to do with the microsleep. You got to just think about it logically. You had 250 videos. Madeline listened to them, so she was part of the decision process. And while you were driving from when you had the microsleep to the terminal, they were watching the camera footage and all of this and analyzing it. But really, they were also watching your videos. And they thought, ooh, this guy is this. He shouldn't even be driving one of our vehicles. Do you see? He even said on one of it, I could play it for you, dude, so you can see what they saw. You even said right on the video, I'm a crazy person. I'm a functional crazy person, you know. And you were acting weird. You're talking like this weird voice now, and you alter ego and you subdudes and all that shit, man. They probably watched the video. And they probably really honestly thought, dude, we should just fire this guy because, you know, he's kind of like gone off the deep end, man. You know, he's had one too many trips, you know, done one too many loads, you know, and he's taken one too many trips to Japan and made one too many videos. And you know, we can put a young guy in his seat because he was going to hit 1 million in 2.5 years. We calculate it out. If he was working full time, we'd have to pay him $5,000 in a new truck, and we can fire him. We use a liability thing, and then we put a new guy in his seat, and then that person will take 10 years to get to where he is now. And the odds are, we calculate it out. We've done all the analysis and everything. We put a new guy or girl in his seat. Chances are that person's not even going to be here for 10 years, you know. And so we'll save $5,000. So there's just, all the things they talk about behind closed doors, they talk about it exactly that way, behind closed doors, because they're not going to tell you all this stuff, because you could go to a labor attorney and just, you know, maybe sue him for discrimination against a crazy person, you know. And I wasn't planning on getting terminated and switching gears and doing this, but it is what it is. So Sophia's been doing the van. She did her Prius thing for a couple years, got her Prius set up. She still has a Prius. Yes. And then she got this van. She watches all the YouTube videos, and she's got it all set up pretty cool. I don't. And my car's technically really isn't the ideal. However, I've seen people that like camping for heck. It's all-wheel drive, so it's great in the snow. And some people, since there's not a lot of space, they'll just pitch a big tent or a tent, sleep in the tent. That kind of is one route to go. If you get in this whole dialogue that you're not really crazy, you're just unique, you've been weird all your life, and it could get into this whole back and forth. Maybe you might have to go to trial with the jury, And who knows, you might have to bring your driver managers in, and who said that you're one of the best drivers they've ever had consistently. Call Madeline in. It could turn into a big old mind fuck and all this. Listen to what Sophia said. She said, don't take your stuff to a labor attorney. Just
up with Archangel Michael to the heavens, up to the cosmos for complete and permanent transmutation, turned into golden white light. And then I asked for golden white light, 100% pure love and light above the new paradigm line, to surround us in every aspect of our lives, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, mind, body, soul. In all lifetimes, universes, galaxies, dimensions, cosmos, realms, paradigms, lineages, unknown and known at all levels, all depths, up to omega infinity. So I did that, and that's a pretty good clearing. I go through the entire house, the entire place, and closets, everything, and corners of the home, and on the beds, and with my shell, and with the sage, and
avoid the whole hassle. Just live with the fact you're liberated. You don't have to drive anymore. Look at the positive. Real time. That's never real time, because by the time I make my videos and then I use the clip. Sunny day. It started out this morning. When I went out this morning, it was raining, but it's sunny now. I just attended my first Self-Realization Fellowship temple service. Now, what I'm coming...
Well, I bet many people have sat in this.
Well, a lot of people have sat in it, but I was just
I
thinking...
saw the show. It was very nice. Very
Did you
nice.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one thing they forgot to plug, so I thought I'd plug it for them, and that's their new Christmas record. We wish you Merry Christmas. War is over. Get yours now. Thank you.
No, look at the positive. Well, the positive is that Starbucks opens in 20 minutes, dude, and I can have a venti coffee. And I got I've been getting so much coffee. I got all these stars, 500 something stars, and so now I can get, each time I get a venti coffee, just tell them, use my stars. And then you get free refills, and it's actually a really nice Starbucks, dude. In fact... Probably nicer than the one in Cardiff, dude, because they accept that they have a drive-through, and the people that drive through there are crazy, dude. And all the four-wheelers are really crazy here. It's a bigger city than Encinitas. That's the cold hard reality, dude. Wow, this is really a bummer. I mean, is this the kind of conversations we're gonna have every day? Wow, that a car went by. Maybe they saw your lights on. Gotta turn them off. And I just was up the meditation gardens right up the street here. And this is the Coast Highway right alongside the ashram grounds. Now, the thing I wanted to point out here, before my van blew up on me, After sleeping in my van overnight, I drove this up the same coast highway down to Starbucks. That opened up 5. Interrupting our regular program. I'm just outside the Starbucks making this video in Cardiff. I wanted to show you my car, my new Prius. Well, let me highlight, it's a new used Prius, but my van blew up. My first time I bought a car outside of CarMax, will never do that again. So I bought this Prius just yesterday, and I'm very happy to have it. Oddly enough, with my friend Sophia Rashkin, I met through the Empower business 10 years ago. It's kind of funny. When we started doing our spiritual, this is a side thing, started doing our spiritual road trips together after she went through a divorce with Aaron, her partner, and left the Empower business. Why did the car go by, dude? Well, I think there's a warehouse behind us. I mean, we kind of parked here because we want to stay, you know, in the dark, you know. We could probably, here's what we can do, dude. I got an idea. Let's just, you know, let's take the shades down, okay? You got an Arizona plate, you know. Let's just drive up to the parking lot. We don't have to wait till 4:30. And we could just say that we were concerned about having a micro sleeper, and we came parked in the parking lot. We got our Starbucks app, and we noticed that they open up at 4:30, so we took the Chambers exit, and we're going to stop here and get some rest and have some coffee for safety purposes. You could use that as an excuse. Just use the kind of whole, you know. You don't have to just wait till 4:30. We can go up there right now, and then we can continue this little conversation in the parking lot. You know, in fact, it's a neater effect, dude, because we'll be right on location, you know, and it's right in alignment, because your DMO, daily method of operation, is you find the earliest Starbucks in the area, like the one in Cardiff was the earliest Starbucks at 5. This one is the earliest one, 4:30 to 10. You've checked all the Starbucks in the Denver metro area, and this is the most prime location to start your day early at 4:30. That's what it is. Plus, it's extended hours till 10. The others they close at 5. In fact, Jeff's Fluid Coffee Bar, dude, opens up at 7, and they close at 3. Okay, the St. Mark's Coffee Shop, they open at 6:30. Okay, 2 hours later than this one, but they stay open till 9. But they also serve beer, dude. So you've got it all analyzed, and that's a good thing, dude. That's a good thing. So give yourself some, you know, good energy. Okay, so you funked up. You're human. You had a millisecond microsleep, and you got stuck in the mud. They made a decision to fire you. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think this, I'm starting to feel a little better. I'll feel a lot better when I have my coffee, dude. And then we'll officially start today's movie. It's May 1st. It hasn't snowed, but it still feels, it's 42 degrees. It still kind of feels cold here, dude. I know, that's why you have this hat, you know. Now, Arizona, on the other hand, dude, we can check the Arizona. That'll make me depressed, because Arizona is probably already getting up to 80 or 90 now, with a low of 75. But the other thing, dude, not too long, Arizona's going to be like 110 every day, and the low is going to be 80 something. Low at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be like the low is 86. Here in Colorado, dude, it's going to be a pleasant, dry 80 degrees, and it'll drop down to 45 or 50 at night. Perfect sleeping weather, just like today. It's 42 degrees. You know, we got a lot to think about, a lot to talk about, and that's what the whole nature of this mirror work is, dude. That's why you got this 1 terabyte phone. Remind me, I've just got to remind you, remind me, remind the whole world, we got this 1 terabyte phone because you made so many friggin' movies, dude. When you're making them almost 24 hours a day, you know, that's the other thing. That's the cold, harsh reality. The track you are on now, at this pace, you're going to make 1,000 movies a year. So let's say you only live 5 more years. That's could be 5,000 videos, dude. And using your formula, repetition is the mother of skill, okay? And you got to be bad to get good, okay? There is the cold, harsh reality that you could end up getting to your 5,000th video using your formula, and you still don't have any subscribers, more than maybe 32. It might go from 30 to 32 in 6,000 videos, and the views are still 4 or 5, and you don't have any monetization, and you haven't made any money. Nobody's watching your videos. You have to kind of like live with the possibility of reality that you're only doing this for yourself. You know, not to communicate to the world. Because out of 6 billion people, who knows? Maybe no one will even see any of your videos. You're never going to be like Casey. You know, I just looked at one of Casey's videos, dude, and I look at him, and I mean, he's a cool dude, and he's a cool dude. Okay, I admit that. Casey's a cool dude. But when he posts a video, 100,000 people watch it. Look at Chris Broad in Japan, dude. He just got 500. He just reached the 500,000 subscriber mark. Okay, now here's the thing about Chris, though, dude. You got to give the guy credit. He's from England, UK. He goes to Japan. He teaches English. He doesn't know how to speak any Japanese. He taught himself how to write Japanese, read Japanese, speak Japanese, and even won a speech contest with other Japanese people. And he's a happening dude, man. And he's funny, he's entertaining, and he's really good at what he does, man. And he has a studio, and his thing is happening, man. But he's younger, he's better looking than you. He's got that English accent. You know, you don't have an English accent, dude. I hate to tell you. You don't have a Brazilian accent. In fact, you don't have anything but a California accent, dude. But that's not going to sell any videos, you know. So you got to just live with the fact you're just doing something because you're retired and you have nothing else better to do, and you become kind of somewhat, I hate to say, addicted to making movies, videos, whatever you call them, you know. And I don't even know if there's anything. I mean, they have places where you can go if you're drinking too much, and you know, the Alcoholics Anonymous, and you know, all this. I don't know if there's a place that you can actually go get some support, dude. You know, I don't know if there's anyone out there like you, because there has to be other people out that are making, you know, 3 or 4 1-hour film collage documentaries and going to coffee shops and drinking multiple cups of coffee every day after they get fired from a job. You know, I've been looking for another, you know, dude like me, and I can't find anyone. You know, so therefore, if there's not another person doing what I'm doing, I can't go to a support group with other people to talk about how we're addicted to making movies. If there's not other people that are addicted to making movies like I am, and sitting in a Prius, and who've driven a truck for night transportation, who got fired for something that possibly could happen maybe down the road, you know. So you may be your own unique dude, you know, and that's what you have to live with, you know. Just be authentically the hero you are, the authentic you, the weird you. Just be authentically weird, dude. It's not a bad deal. And besides, Starbucks is opening up in 12 minutes. You've already been ranting for like 27 minutes, dude. You know, well, this is just always the warm-up. You know, we do this every morning before our coffee. So when we drink our coffee, we're like ready to rock and roll because we've done a dress rehearsal, dude. Plus, we can chop this up. Hype! We can do our bonus enlightened ninja techniques, and we're gonna figure out how to take this 27 minutes and hype. Whoa, hype! We'll bring it down to like 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll put all this information. We'll learn to how say it faster, so we can say it within the TikTok parameter levels of 30 seconds to 3 minutes, so that you would zoop, hi, woo, and then you'll master the art of saying more with less. That's something you could work on. It gives you something to work on, so then you got some challenges. Makes it more interesting. Well, let's pack up. We can take the shades down, dude. And they already know you here at the Starbucks. In fact, they asked you, what do you do? And you told them, and they wanted to look at your videos. But you do notice they didn't say anything about them. They probably didn't want to hurt your feelings, They asked you what channel, and they said they were going to look at it. But you realized they didn't say anything, because they probably didn't want to hurt your feelings. Like, I could even ask them, did you watch any of my videos? What do you think? And then I really put them on the spot. What are they going to say? Well, I'm sorry, we didn't really like them. They probably just don't want to hurt your feelings. So that's actually okay. Let's pack it up, dude. Starbucks is right down the street. That's why you park here. I love this Prius. That's the most positive thing. If nothing we're in the Prius. And remember all the stuff we had to go through in Encinitas to get this car, and we got it. But darn, I don't know what happened to Sophia. I don't know what happened to her. I've been here almost a month, and she hasn't even seen me. And she wrote me a message that maybe we shouldn't connect for a while. Well, and then I asked her if I could send my license plate to her address. My mom said it should be there already, and she hasn't communicated with me to even let me know the license plate's there. That's another whole mystery, the Sophia mystery. You were gonna call this something like Driving with Sophia, and now she's not even talking to you. You came all the way to Colorado to reconnect with her, to do maybe a channel called Driving to Sophia, and your plan didn't work, dude. You were even camping. This is how weird your life is. Sophia said, when you come here, you can park behind my Toyota in my house, safe, which is only about 1 mile from here. And then she was camping out in her Toyota in front of her house because she likes camping out in her Toyota van. It's the same Toyota van that blew up with you. And so you park behind her Toyota van, and behind your Prius is her Prius. And you did that for several mornings, and then you got up at 4:30 like now to come here to the Starbucks to start your day. And then you started feeling kind of uncomfortable about, that you weren't even talking. So you just started camping. That's how we started camping out here, because it just seemed really weird, So life and people can be weird, including you. The whole world can be kind of, you can't understand it, I know, it's a mystery. That's what we call in Buddhism the great mystery, because everything can be a mystery, dude. And you better pack it up, because if you don't walk through the door at 4:30, they're going to think maybe something happened to you, And we're on the stars, so we can just walk in and get our venti coffee, and we can go back to our car, because we tell them every time we come there, we'll be out in the car, we're coming back for a refill. And here's the deal, we're into May. This is May. We got to really conserve our money. Okay, that's part of the reason why you came out here. We can go really low key. Park out here by Starbucks, have our venti coffee, free refills. We can hang out in the car. We can get some water, so we can just kind of water fast. Just eat as little as possible. Start chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Just start meditating. Kind of living a solitary life, Screw it. you've got $750 coming in. No, you don't have your 1,000 plus per week, but we can just reframe things. Let's see, the challenge is now, can we live on 700? I mean, you want to do the Lyft thing, but to tell you the truth, even Sophia said, I think you're going to drive in traffic in the city and go crazy, and you don't want to go crazy. So maybe we should just entertain the possibility. We'll sign up with Lyft, but we'll make sure we do as little as possible so we don't go crazy with the four-wheelers that drive like their hair's on fire, dude. We have to really manage our stress levels, you know, because you're kind of zip, 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 zip. And this is the post-firing stage. You know, this is going to be really delicate for a while, dude. You know, you got to take care of your mental health, you know. I think you got a point there. But let's pack it up. They're going to be open in 4 minutes, dude. Let's pack it up. Let's take the shades down right now, dude. Let's do it. You do this every morning. Woohoo. You got to take down the shades, dude. The Prius is already running, so we don't have to turn it on. We'll be back. We're going to go for a commercial break. We'll be back when we're down in Starbucks right now. Back up to the motel, and I do this every morning, and this is a way of me processing. It's a little bit like back in the day, we used to have this thing called mirror work. And what you did is, by yourself, you would look in the mirror and have kind of a self-talk conversation with yourself. You know, talking about where you're at, what you're feeling, and giving yourself a pep talk. And that's what these videos are for me, is kind of my own mirror work, or my own video collage, or my video therapy. Saturday, I think it's going to be the last couple days in the motel, because I bought my Prius yesterday, which is my ticket out of here, although I've enjoyed my stay here. My place is a little cluttered because when my van broke down, although I didn't have that much stuff in it, because it's a van, it was not a Prius, and I don't know what was going to happen here. I did put a bunch of things in it. One of which, because now I have the Prius, I for sure have to, unfortunately, probably get rid of it, is my bed frame that held my mattress, and I had storage underneath it for the Prius. I have a $500 massage table that I just don't want to give away. I've bought it just in case I could sell it or use it. I believe it will fit my Prius, I believe, hopefully in the back. And then I have my backpack, which I'm going to keep, my minimalist bag. I have a suitcase that used to go underneath the bed frame. It'll probably still fit. I have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff here I may have to box up, or decide to let some of it go. I have a clothes basket because I have laundry here, a closet. Now here's two things I'm definitely gonna keep. This is a $200 sleeping bag, an air mattress that won't take up much space. In my motel room itself, I have a microwave, I have a refrigerator, a coffee maker, TV, cable, a workstation. I have a chair, a desk, and lamp. I have all my stuff for making videos here in my motel. I don't necessarily have to go to the library, which is closed today anyway, or the Better Buzz coffee shop. I think there's 3 different companies, or 3 different lines, or several different lines, but the JR line is one of them. It's an interesting looking sign up here. Sometimes I just like looking at the signs, the artwork, even though I don't know exactly what they say. But anyway, this is where I'm meeting Chikako. She told me to meet her at the Shinjuku station, the south exit by the ticket counter. So that's where I'm meeting her. This is give you an idea of the street level. Now, what's cool is at night, it's not dark obviously yet, this will be all lit up. and pretty lively. But I'm going to walk over to where, now Chikako doesn't like me taking videos of her. This is Doug. I only have a little more time, daylight, and then it starts getting dark and I have to talk with my dome light or go inside Starbucks. They're actually open another 2.5 hours. But when I went in there earlier to try to do some video stuff, they had some real loud hip hop type of music, pretty loud. So I couldn't even hear, you know, what I do when I'm recording. I use this headset and I have to be able to hear what I'm recording. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm recording. So that's why I'm in my car, my Prius. It's a real blessing to have this Prius. So far, I absolutely love it. I've only had this car maybe a little more than a month, and it's almost a miracle that I even have it. If I didn't have this Prius right now, seriously, I don't know what I would do. I'd be sleeping outside. Here in Denver, downtown Denver specifically, like Portland, like Seattle, like San Diego, because it's a big city, there's people that are homeless sleeping on the sidewalk in tents. And if I didn't have this Prius, I would probably have to do that. Now, frankly, I do have some money saved, and if I really need to and want to, I do have enough money, even without any income or my modest $700 a month Social Security income. I can rent an Airbnb. It isn't that I'm flat broke and I have nowhere to go. But however, what my plan is, and it's all a work in progress, and I had the same plan in Encinitas with my Toyota van, but my Toyota van, all intents purposes, blew up on me. Basically, I lost it. I had nowhere to sleep. The good news, CarMax bought my Toyota van from me for $5,500, even though it was not running. On top of it, my mother sent me a check for $15,000, because what happened is, prior to me getting fired, I told my parents, you can go ahead and sell the house. You have my blessing. It's not a big deal. I'll just live in my truck and just rent Airbnbs as needed. But I told them that prior to getting fired. And my job, I was making a pretty steady $1,000 a week steady. But the key is, that's not a lot of money in this day and age. I've talked to people here in Denver that are working 2 jobs and stuff, because the rent, and this is true with Encinitas as well, that rents are going for about $1,700 a month. And if you have car payments and other bills or credit card payments, there's a lot of people here in Denver and Encinitas that are having to work 2 jobs just to make it. Okay. What saved me, fortunately, is I have no debts. Even through all of this, I've used my credit card, to pay for my $99 a day motel. And I'm using my credit card today. But I have no debt, because I just use it because I rack up points. Like right now, I have about $900 worth of points I can use my credit card, because I use my credit card to so I get points instead of my debit card, where I don't get any points. And then I pay it off right away. I don't even wait till the end of the billing cycle. Everything I charge, even with what's going on now with not having a job, I pay it off. So right now, I technically don't have any credit card debt. However, because my van blew up that I owned and paid for and paid cash for it, actually traded my Subaru, which I got $17,000 appraisal with CarMax, I traded that straight across. When I had the Toyota, I didn't have car payments. But because that blew up and I decided to buy this nice Prius, I technically have car payments. However, because I put $16,000 down on this car, my car payments are only about $239, and the insurance is about $100. So in essence, I at least have transportation, and I can use this car for Lyft if I choose to, and a place to sleep at night for about $300 something. This Prius is unbelievable. It's a hybrid, and most of the time when I'm like sitting in the car right now, like if it gets a little cold at night, I can basically start it up and put the heat and thermostat on, and it's not burning any gas. When I go to put gas in this here, and it doesn't get as good a gas mileage in the city, just like any car, because it's in the city, you're not getting. But when I was in Encinitas and I was camping out in the motel and I was just driving a little bit through town, I wasn't like racing around. I got 57 miles to gallon when I was in Encinitas. When I drove out here through the Rockies and out to Denver, I got about something like 48 miles to gallon. So I love this car. So everything is a work in progress, but there's been a lot that's happened. And I gotta tell you, there's a strange dude that's come out on camera. So if you see my weird dude come out, I haven't gone off the deep end. Somehow, after doing all these videos, and I've done several hundred of them, along with kind of being the video artist where I'm mixing this, and I'm kind of one-man band, I'm doing everything myself. It's all my own content, it's my own story. But this strange dude came out, man. It's just this like alter ego kind of dude, I don't even know where he came from, but he just started talking, and he kind of, sometimes he sounds pretty enlightened, but he's kind of out there. So it just makes the video stuff just a little more entertaining. So I had my friend Tessa contact me after watching one of my videos. He's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "You probably saw my weird dude." It's like my stand-up comedian. It's like, it's like you go to a comedy, so I'm not saying I'm a mainstream actor, a comedian or anything like that, after all, nobody's really watching my videos. But what I'm saying is, there's famous comedians out there, you see them, they're really crazy, Jim Carrey, all these people, but they're a regular dude, they're just doing their thing, or there's people that do stand-up, so mine is kind of coming out. I don't even know why, he just came out, zoop, 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 so I'm just going with the flow. So if you see me kind of like going off the deep end in parts of my videos, just don't worry too much about it. I'm still grounded. I still kind of know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and doing my best to kind of right this ship out, since I'm now 6 months going on 6 months since I've been fired by Night Transportation for the microsleep. That's another whole huge subject. Wow, that was unbelievable. They fired me because of what could happen. I've never been fired for something that's like, we're going to fire you because, not what actually happened, but we're going to fire because of what could happen in the future, even though it hasn't happened in 10 years or 12 years, even though you don't want it to happen, even though but we're going to terminate you just because we don't want to have any liabilities. You've turned into a senior driver, earned us $1 million, one of the best drivers, all your driver managers, just top, and now you're not an asset anymore. You're just a liability. You're fired. Get the heck out of here, dude. We no longer want you. So there's a lot going on in my life, and I'm just trying to do the best I can with the awareness I have right now. While I'm waiting for, is that it? Yeah, that's all I had to say right now. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll get back to you in just a minute, but let me finish up this intro, dude. Okay, right now, I'm going to drop off because, to tell you the truth, it's going to get dark, and this is the hardest time of this whole thing. Okay, once I get up, once this place is open at 4:30 and I can go use the restroom, get some coffee, and the day starts opening up, and there's Denver, there's places to go, there's things to do, I'm okay. The hard part is now, when it's about almost 8 o'clock, I have nowhere to go. I'm a homeless person sleeping in my Prius. Now, I could go rent an Airbnb, but I don't want to spend the money. I'm trying to be frugal. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving myself breaks. Technically, my next Airbnb is with Jeremy. It's in May. It's May 1st now. I've got about 3 weeks, to which I'm going to try to get through these 3 weeks and not rent an Airbnb, because most of the time they go for about $99 a night. Then with all the extra fees, for example, I just rented one. I've got some video of it for 2 nights, and it cost me about $260. coming out of my savings. So I just got to be careful. Now, Jeremy, he's my hero, man. Jeremy, you're the dude, man. I told you I'm going to make you a video. I may make this just for you, Jeremy, because you're my man. You know, Jeremy is a cool dude. You know, his place was $40 a night. His cleaning fee was $10, and he has chickens, he has a little doggy and a cat, and there's a kitchen, there's a bathroom, there's people. I just felt immediately at home. Plus, he had a 65-inch TV, and I hooked up my laptop to it. A king-size bed. It's a happening place, man. But because it's such a happening place, it's booked up all the time. So my first vacancy was a month after I was there. So unfortunately, I can't stay there like full time or anything like that. But he's my number one Airbnb host in Broomfield, Colorado right now. And I doubt I'm going to find anything better. So that may be my center and the place I'm going to stay when I'm not in my Prius. Okay. Now the other place is in Wash Park. Okay. I've actually stayed there twice. The cool thing about that Wash Park place is it has this really cool Bangkok Thai restaurant. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. The meals are about $13, but they're phenomenal. The other place I really like is this place in downtown Denver called, I liked it before when I was driving a taxi, called the Magnolia's Barbecue, okay? They have a thing, brown rice, flour tortillas, and you go put a bowl of shrimp and salmon and everything you want. They put this on a grill, and it's only $12.99. Now, that might sound like a lot of money. Maybe I shouldn't be spending that. But I went to Sonic Burger on Colfax, which is a rough part of town, and ordered a burger, fries, and a drink, and it was almost $12. So I told the people at Magnolia, I'd rather be sitting in here, sitting at the bar. If I really, really want to, I can order a beer, and I'm not sitting out there on a table out near Colfax, and it's $11.99, man. It's awesome. So anyway, St. Mark's Coffee Shop. Eric, I love you, man. I know you're not watching the video, but Eric's got this coffee shop that I love the people. They're just like the Better Buzz people in Encinitas. Really helped me out because I go there and make my movies. And it's open from 6:30 in the morning till 9, and they serve beer. Okay, and then Eric has a pub right next door, man. So that's one of my happening places right there. And then my friend, my main dude, Jeff, who owns the Fluid Coffee Bar, he has a location 19th and Penn. But frankly, I told Jeff, I went out to lunch with him, and I told him about the 17th Street Mr. Right. What's the name of the place? Dude, St. Mark's Coffee Shop, dude. Okay, yeah, I told Jeff, you know, I said, because that's technically a competitor, I said, Jeff, I went to the St. Mark's Coffee Shop, and I really liked it. And the reason being, Jeff is a cool dude. I love him. I love his place. I try to support him. I've known him for 17 years. But I've gone into his place, and this back meeting room only has like 4 tables. And St. Mark's has like 25 tables. And now it can get really busy where you can't even get a table. Then they're seating on the outside in the patio. Okay. The other thing, it's 2 blocks from the Gaylord House where I used to live, plus a couple blocks from City Park. Then there's Wash Park. Wash Park is open from 5 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. It's completely free. You can park there. There's grass. There's basketball courts. There's rollerblading. You know, it's a happening place. I love it. Wash Park. Now, Denver, I could go on and on with, I know you could go on and on about Denver, but let's just finish with this. Denver has 53 14,000 foot peaks. No, dude, you're really rusty. You used to do this when you drove a taxi. Denver does not have 53 14,000 foot peaks. No. No. Colorado has 53 14,000 peaks, not Denver. That would be, can you imagine what that would be like being in a city? It's a mile-high city, but now try to use your imagination. What would it be like to be in Denver and you drive, you know, over the Rockies and you go down into Denver and there's 53 14,000 foot peaks within the city limit? It would be pretty weird, I think, actually. So that's a slip up. And what's weird is the airport I used to drive back and forth to for 10 years is 53 square miles of property from the terminal to the edge of the airport, which I'm right by right now, by the way, is about 11 miles. What's this 53 thing? I was born in 53, dude. That's what this is, cosmic. I was born September 13th, 1953. And in Colorado, there's 53 14,000-foot peaks. The airport has 53 square miles of property. And there's 53 parks, and it seems like that's kind of a cosmic thing, dude. Numerology and all that kind. I know, that's why I'm here, dude. The forces of the higher powers have guided me here. There's some type of synchronicity, dude. That's why I'm here. Okay, we'll get back to that. Okay, so I'm in Denver, Colorado. I don't know how long. I'm going to try to drive for Lyft. I just got my regular license plate for my car. And I don't know if I'm going to stay here for the winter, but we'll get to that because that's a few months down the road. It won't start getting to be winter until after Halloween. But to tell you the truth, it's still kind of a little bit like winter. The trees don't have green leaves on them yet. It still was about 42 degrees last night, and I think the high was about 60 something today. The high in Denver is 65 degrees, dude. Okay, let's get ready. Let's rock it out. This is 16 minutes. We can't sit here and talk all night. We have to start editing and mixing, and it's starting to get dark, dude. And when it gets dark, we got to go park down the street, put our shades up, kind of hide a little bit. We got to be very selective with the dome light, but we can still make our movies on our little iPhone and just kind of be discreet about it. You know, so I am, who am I? I don't even know what to call myself anymore, dude. It was the driving to Tokyo. Then it was the Instantaneous Van Man with a Plan. And now I honestly don't know what this chapter is. I'm still trying to figure it out. But it doesn't mean I can't make videos. That's a detail. What is this channel? Where is it going? What's the deal? Those are all details. Here's the thing I'll leave you with. If the dream's big enough, the facts don't count. You gotta have a vision. I kind of have a vision, but I know I got kind of like blindsided with this firing thing and the house being sold and my band blowing up. You know, I kind of feel like I'm kind of doing the Joseph Campbell Follow Your Bliss hero's journey, dude. And I'm almost 70. That's what's a trippy thing, man. Dude, how'd you get here so fast? You look at your beard, man. And you're letting your hair grow out. Man, you're starting to look really... Well, I am almost 70, dude. Just lay off the gray beard thing. You know, I could shave it off, but I'm just grooving with it, you know? I let it grow out pretty big when I was at Jeremy's, and I shaved it, and I decided I'm just going to let it go, man. You know? Jeremy's a happening dude. Kennedy's cool. I told him I was going to make him a movie. So this is kind of somewhat dedicated. And I made my first friend at St. Mark's. I forgot all about that. Ashley. I don't know if I'm going to actually send this to her. But I met a woman that was sitting next to me when I had my happening headphones and my Mac computer and all that stuff. And we struck up a conversation, and she had a deadhead thing, and we started talking, and she actually gave me her email, and she said I could send her a video. And she was at the St. Mark's coffee shop for about 7 hours. So well, she's technically, well, Jeremy, I would consider Jeremy a new friend, Kennedy. So I'm starting to make friends here that I couldn't make when I was a solo truck driver driving all over the country by myself for 12 years, technically for 10 years with night transportation. So that's one of the benefits. I'm making less money, but I've got my freedom, and I'm meeting people. And you're getting really long-winded, dude. We can chop this up. Hey, we're gonna have to do some ninja editing with this thing, dude. Plus, you did the really weird thing this morning. Prior to coming down to Starbucks, you went off on this whole 34-minute rant, dude. I'm not even sure if I should publish what you said. It was so far out and so weird. I'm afraid if your parents accidentally watch one of your videos, they're going to think you got off the deep end. So I don't know. That's why I put unlisted on my videos, because I think they're too weird for the general public, to be honest with you. I can only send it to kind of select friends. So if you got this video or any of my videos from this point forward, until I know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and I have kind of my life back in solid ground, I'm just sending these videos to people I think can handle it, that aren't gonna think I've kind of like lost my mind. I'm hoping, even though the sub dudes come out and all this weird stand-up comedian metaphysical dude comes out, I'm hoping they realize I'm just trying to kind of go with the flow, dude. I'm going with the flow. Okay, that's it. Let's call that a wrap. It's getting dark. Starbucks closes in about 2 hours. I might even get a drink. But I have to really, my thing with May, I'm going to really watch my budget. Okay? So, let's see what happens. This is May. This is a new month. We're going into the summertime. Will I be driving for Lyft? Will I register my car here in Colorado? Will I start making a little side gig money to make it a little easier to survive here in the city? I'm going to be finding those things out live in my life. And I'll try to share them with you, so you know what's going on. How's that? Zip, zip, zip. Okay. This is what I always say. It's my own little thing. I'm in the outside. The outside me is outside. And when I push this button, the outside me, which is right here, goes inside. It goes into the eye. Well, actually, technically, dude, it automatically goes into the iMovie. And then the outside me is in the inside of the iPhone. And it sits there indefinitely until I decide to go into movies, iMovie specifically, project, push video, recently added, drop it in, and then I'm on the project. And then when I finally get that done, whoop, it goes downloaded into Photos, zip, it goes into YouTube and goes around and around and around. Eventually it downloads and then it's there. So this outside me right now on May the 1st is going inside right now.